Good morning, everyone. I almost said Saturday. Oh, Monday. Yay, here are people popping up. Hi, Odessa. We are going to enjoy a Yin class today. For Yin, we don't have to have a bolster, but if you have a big pillow to use, that is recommended. You can use any kind of big bed pillows, or I've even used couch cushions before. Can also get a blanket, a few blankets, one blanket, nice thick blankets also help. We don't have to have the props. They just do kind of help us get a little more comfortable. Here's a couple blocks. If you ever want to replace something with your blocks, Kleenex box, same shape, same size, a book, just anything to help prop us up. Look at Justin. He's already ready for this. He's ready to get into some Yin. Good morning, everyone. Look at everyone. Hi, Christine. Yeah, you found me, Paige. It took us, these last minutes really start to catch up with us. Get in the photo. We don't have much Wi-Fi in our Zen den, so it gets a little nerve-wracking. But hey, we are going to crush those nerves right now. I hope everyone had a beautiful Easter and with their families, or hopefully you connected through Zoom. And we ate a lot of food yesterday, so we're going to really just concentrate on connecting with our body through our breath. I'm going to read us a few poems, and really everything, this flow is based on this quote I read yesterday on how Easter is a symbol of hope. And it is, right? So I thought that was really beautiful. And today I just want us to focus on that hope and peace and just really letting all those worries melt away. We are going to start, let me think, laying down in prone position. Justin's already there. We want our head nice and flat onto the mats. And we're going to just bring our hands down to our sides. A little pre-class Shavasana. I know hubby's excited for this. He loves the Yin. Yin is very in. This is your first time. Good morning. Ever doing a Yin class? I'm sure you're going to love it. And when we reopen those doors, I hope you come and join us. Oh, yeah, we're all in there. I did post a little playlist that we could play. Make sure everything's playing over here. There we go. Classical music. Ours doesn't seem to be that calm, but it's going. The breath, right? When everything gets, we connect with the breath. So when we're laying down nice and flat, we can really notice where the placement of our breath is, and we're shooting for here into the tummy area. So just physically breathing in through the nose, feeling that belly balloon of ours fill up, and then let it go. Good morning, Bonnie. So nice to see you. This class is so gratefully brought to us by Miss Jeannie and Mike, because they made a special request for it. So I love special requests. Thank you, Jeannie and Mike. Getting length, starting to notice all the parts of our body that are making contact with the earth. Yin is the more gentle approach to yoga. It's the feminine, there's the yin, and there's the yang. We use time and breath to get our deepest stretch. We're going to go right into starting to squeeze out all that grub we ate yesterday. Kingston thought all hard-boiled eggs were chocolate eggs inside. Wouldn't that be surreal? We ate some chocolate yesterday. We're going to take our right leg and tuck it into our chest. I'm bringing the bolster over to my left side. We're going to go even a little slower today than normal, just so everyone can get all situated in their homes. So I have the bolster on his left side, tucking that right knee into his chest. This is called wind release pose. And just really hugging it in, maybe making circles with that knee. Yeah, there we go. Oh, husband has to listen to what I say. Get some circles with that knee. And then holding onto the right knee with our left hand. Tee out our right hand. Get it nice and long. Feel all the body part, the contact that we're making with the earth. And inhaling here. And on our exhale, we want to twist it out. This right knee comes over towards our left side. These are when those blankets and these bolsters come into play. If we can make contact with them. Also, we don't need anything. We could just let our legs hang here. Notice the location of your breath. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. This is the yoga of the brain, right? When our body is in stillness, this brain of ours tends to start to kick up. So really tap into the physicality of this and how you're feeling in your body. No location of the breath. We don't have to do work here. All the work is done for us. Just by breathing in and breathing out. If this brain of ours starts to wander, that is okay. Just notice it and then bring it back in with you into our here and now. I'm going to explain what we are up to. There's 4 tenets to a Yin class. My timer keeps going down on me. There's 4 tenets to Yin. The first is to take the form. We have done that. The second is to commit to the form. Our brain will start to trick us to say that, oh, my ear itches or there's something on my shoulder. It's just trying to keep us busy. It's 4 minutes. We can hold this. Just breathe in and breathe out. We're trying to keep our muscles as passive as possible, as soft, as subtle, because when they are, then the gravity kicks in a little more. First tenet, take the form. Second tenet, commit to the form. Third tenet, soften and surrender. Soften and surrender. Use your breath. Notice if we're holding our hip up or our leg up or our head up. Surrender to it with the breath. Let the gravity get us there. We do the same just like we do in an active yoga class. Whatever part of us is calling out our name, maybe he's feeling it in his lower back, his outer hip. Send that area of yours, that beautiful breath of ours. The 4th tenet to Yin, which is my personal favorite, By doing nothing, we are doing everything, right? We observe and allow. Observe the physical feelings. Observe the emotional feelings that may arise. Allow them. And then let them release. For all those wiggle worms out there, the people that are on the go, 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 this is the practice, right? The stillness. We're slowing our mind down. It's a mental, it's a nice, beautiful meditation of the body. And then these slow stretches, we're getting past our skin tissue, our muscle fibers. We're getting into our fascia. We're getting into our ligaments. We're getting into our joints. We're getting into the deep, deep stuff. So things arise, and that is okay. We take the form, we commit to it, we soften and surrender, we observe and allow. Talking about hope today, a nice quote by Christopher Reeve. Once you choose hope, anything is possible. Isn't that the truth? We've been here for about 4 minutes. Isn't that awesome? Start to softly come out of the shape. There is no right way to come out of the shape. There is no wrong way. Just let the body guide you. Now when we really start to notice, like, whoa, that right leg is feeling a lot longer than my left leg, or wow, I'm feeling more open on my right side. That's cool. The observation is what it's all about. Justin's moving his bolster over onto the right side. We can also stack up blankets. We could just let that leg float if we want. Give yourself some wiggles, neutralizing. Opening that back up again. Now we are going to take our left leg and tuck it in to our chest. Make little circles with it. Get some movement, massaging that digestive tract of ours. We're wringing away that weekend, coming into our next week of stillness. Tee out your left hand. Hold on to your left knee with your right hand. Inhaling here. Big breath in, and on our exhale, this left knee comes over towards our right side. Maybe you notice, hey, I feel a little different on this side than I do on my other. That is perfect, because we are perfectly imperfect. That brain starts to wander. Bring it back with you here now. We take the form, we commit to the form, we soften and surrender, we observe and allow. symbol of Easter is hope. I loved that as we're basing this whole class today. Desmond Tutu quotes, "Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all the darkness." Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all the darkness. I love to read poetry and quotes in these classes. A, it helps pass our time. B, I'm really trying to just inspire a mantra, a phrase that we can say to ourselves to connect with our breath. Maybe a poem that really resonates with our hearts, helps all that emotional baggage come to the surface so we can breathe in and then release it out into the world. Good morning. It is hard, right? The wiggle worms in the world have difficulty in this practice. But what do we say in yoga? Practice the pose that you don't want to do. Why? Because it's the one that we need the most. So if you're here kind of wiggling on your mat, try to really have those muscles be as passive as possible. Really focusing on the somatic feeling of it, the physicality of it. Maybe focus on what kind of memories start to pop up into your head. Isn't that interesting? Focus on your breath, the location of it. Breath and gravity are two forces that we don't have much control over, right? It just happens without us even thinking. So what a beautiful way to use these forces to work with us, not against us. We're here for about 30 more seconds. Yin is a form of yoga that anyone can do because we don't get up off of our mats much. We just lay, we let it be. Our 4 minutes. I normally have that little timer. I'm going to ding, ding, ding myself. Softly come out of this shape. Took us 4 minutes to get into it. It's going to take us 1 minute to come out of it. And how you want to come out of it is all up to you. If you want to pop up into a headstand right now, you can. It's your time. This is your practice. If you just want to give yourself that full body stretch, it's probably more of the normal response. Windshield wipering those knees left and right, getting movement into that spine. We are going to start to meet into seated pose onto our back sides. I'm going to show you 2 different angles here. Oh yeah, you go that way. Perfect. And I will come this way. Wide leg forward fold. So we get all our toys around us that we need. I'm going to take a block, maybe 2, who knows. Justin has a bolster, or we can use any kind of our big pillows. And what the props do is they just help prop us up. We could hang here for 4 minutes. Maybe our body will open a little more if we can get a little more passive in the pose, a little more comfortable. Our legs could be as wide as just our mat here. They could be as wide off the mat as we wish. Take this flesh and remove it from the sit bones. And then in a hatha yoga class, right, in a yang yoga class, we would really focus on spinal alignment. In yin, no, we just want to get ourselves as comfortable as we can to come into this shape. So start folding forward. Remembering those tenets, right, our guidelines. And if we start coming into something and we say, okay, I need couple more props, grab them, right? We take the form. Take your time in taking the form, because we're going to hold this for 4 minutes. On our second tenet is we commit to the form. We can always go deeper, right? When our body starts opening up, we can always come into it a little more. We soften and surrender using our breath. We observe and allow. There's a lot going on into this stillness. It's the observation. Where are we feeling the stretch? Where are we sending that light to these dark corners of our body? Pay attention, because it moves. Maybe it started in between this inner thigh area. Maybe it starts stretching out to the back of those ankles. Perhaps you're feeling it on your outer hips. You'll start crawling and opening up your lower spine. Maybe you feel this all the way up to your shoulders. Our brain has to do something, so focus on your now. Where do you feel? Quote by Thomas Edison: "Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time." Our greatest weakness lies in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. Here's that hope, right? Notice if the breath starts to get shallow. That's our body starting to go onto the defense. It's all about that noticing in this practice. Breathe it in and exhale. Let it release just a little more. These are deep releases. You may have memories that pop up. That is okay. This is our way of our body shedding, not wanting to carry that baggage anymore. You breathe it in And then you let it go. We're going to use this back body strength, or however we need to come out of this wide leg forward fold. I believe it's called dragonfly in a yin class. So we're softening, coming up. Yes, what does your body want from you? Let it guide you. There is no right from wrong here. Maybe you want to windshield wiper those legs. Maybe your body's saying, oh, I need a twist. Maybe it's saying I need to pound out my feet. Honor it. We're trying to slow down our thought process so we can really tap into the body. What is it saying to us? What does it want from us? We're going to do another stretch similar to this. It's called bound angle or butterfly in a yin class. So the pads of our feet are together. What? You were already there? Yeah. Nice. Didn't even know. Notice that we're holding our knees up. We can take books or blankets and prop them underneath of our knees if we need to. The more comfortable we are, the more passive we get our body, the more it's going to open up for us. So we just breathe in, and then exhale, we come down into the shape. Do you want this? The stillness. It is the most difficult part of this process, but how beautiful. Maybe by now, our third week in, or month in, and staying home orders, maybe we're getting a little more comfortable at just being still. Oh, this technology. When you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself to control the way you respond to what's happening. That's where your power is. When you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself to control the way you respond to what is happening. That's where your power is. All these outside forces, all we have to pay attention is our inside. How are we responding? How do we deal when the stress comes or the emotional impact? Wow, feels good. If you are in your home and it's not as peace and quiet as the studio is, as Tawas Day is, that's okay. It just brings you more into your practice. All those things trying to grab our attention. Focus on the here, the now, the you. Where do you feel this in this moment? Where do you possibly need to release just a little bit more? This is an awesome shape to really pay attention to the power of our breath. I invite you to breathe in really deep in your next inhalation. Breathe in as deep as you can to the bottom of that belly space. And on our exhale, wow, watch, see what happens. There's that trust breath, that parasympathetic nervous system, that allow. We're in a safe space. We can open these muscles even more. We are, I need this stuff. We are getting into our fascia. When I say that word fascia, people are like, I've heard of it, but what is it? I like to explain it as the white part around an orange. It goes all around the orange, and then it goes throughout that orange flesh, holds it all together. Same thing for our bodies. It holds us together. It goes all the way around our muscles. It's everywhere. And then it goes throughout them. Fascia is not something that responds to quick stretches. Fascia wants slow, held breath. Letting it be by doing nothing. He's actually doing everything. When you can't control what's happening, challenge yourself to control the way you respond to what's happening. That's where your power is. Easter is a symbol of hope. We have a lot of hope. We've been here for 4 awesome minutes. We're going to softly come out of it again. Roll onto the mat. Give yourself a full body stretch. Maybe you want to somersault and do something wacky. I don't know. Everyone has a personal practice. Shake out those legs. So we have been like a garden hose. I know all my friends at home are like, oh, Elena's analogies. We're like a garden hose that's been bent and held off. All this energy, this prana, this chi has been held back. So when we come out of the shape, whoosh, it opens up and everything flows. We can pay just as much attention to the pause as we do the pose. Some people get a rush of warmth. It's like all these red blood cells, right? All this life, this light that we have inside of us, rush. All hands on deck. Let's heal. I too have a little water. How you doing, love?
Good.
Hope. When I think of hope, I think of great love, right? We're going to come onto our belly sides, setting up for what is called seal in Yin. We know it as, would you turn the other way, would you mind? We know it as cobra. So we can hold an active cobra shape by laying out. I'm going to bend my knees so you can see me. We could hold or a sphinx shape onto our elbows even. Legs would be nice and long. We could bring our hands underneath of our shoulders, hold an active shape of cobra. Again, we're holding this for 4 minutes. So if you have a pillow or a big blanket, put it underneath of you. Let this thing do the work for us. And then all we have to do is just notice. Notice all the points of our body that are making contact with our earth. Noticing the location of our breath. Noticing those thoughts in our head. Bring it to your here and your now. Use this physical feeling to keep yourself present in the shape. If your eyes are closed, they're probably looking right up into our third eye center, our center of intuition. I love to relate this shape as to the Care Bear stare. So bring this crown of our head, imagine or see that breath enter all our little columns and our cords and getting gentle length. This is not something we force up. This is yin. We're using time, breath and gravity to get open, to release, to just be. I'm going to read a passage by Maya Angelou. I've learned that no matter what happens or how bad it seems today, life does go on, and it will be better tomorrow. I've learned that you can tell a lot about a person by the way she handles these three things: a rainy day, lost luggage, tangled Christmas tree lights. I've learned that regardless of your relationship with your parents, you'll miss them when they're gone from your life. I've learned that making a living is not the same thing as making a life. I've learned that life sometimes gives you a second chance. I've learned that you shouldn't go through life without a catcher's mitt I've learned that you shouldn't go through life with a catcher's mitt on both hands. You need to be able to throw something back. I've learned that whenever I decide something with an open heart, I usually make the right decision. I've learned that even when I have pains, I don't have to be one. I've learned that every day you should reach out and touch someone. People love a warm hug or just a friendly pat on the back. I've learned I still have a lot to learn. I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. We have 30 more seconds in this shape. How much deeper can we go by just focusing this crown of our head up? Thanks, honey. I'll move my legs. Grounding our pelvis down into this earth. Our back doesn't stretch like this often. It needs a lot of that reassuring love breath. By doing nothing, we are literally doing everything here. Isn't this beautiful? Nice. And to softly come out of this, let your body guide you. You perhaps maybe just want to remove the blankets or the pillows under that chest. Give yourself a full body stretch. Maybe you want to bend at your knees. Just giving options. Let your body guide you. Wish-wash those feet left and right. Perhaps you want to push back into a lovely child's pose. Knees wide, toes touching, hips come down to those heels, and our heart comes down to this earth of ours. Think of our crown of our head gently coming up while the tailbone drops to our heels and comes to the back of our mat. Yin is not always easy peasy, comfy stuff. There's work to be done. And what's nice about the more challenging postures is that there's a lot more for us to observe and allow. Like now I'm going to cue two different shapes that are doing essentially the same thing. Justin's going to do what we call sleeping swan in a yin class. We know it as pigeon. So if you have knees or hip issues, you can prop yourself up as much as possible, or follow me in what I'm going to do in my shape. So his right knee, move this bolster for a second. His right knee is going to come to the right front side of his mat. And then shin, you could get it off to the right a little more. His shin's going to come parallel as we can get, right to the top of the mat. And then dropping that left leg. We want to be on top of the left leg. Now he's sleeping his swan all the way down. If he wants to hug onto his bolster, do you want to hug onto this, babe? He can. Those blankies of ours, we could use blankets to prop up underneath of us. I'm going to show us the other shape, if this makes our knees scream, is just figure 4 on the back. So I'm coming onto my backside. Knees are up, feet are onto the earth. And then I'm going to cross, what are you doing? The right, I'm going to cross my right knee over, my right leg over my left thigh. Hope you can see this in the camera. Kiss those shoulder blades together. Let those hips relax down to the earth. And then we bring this left leg up. We could prop this against a wall or put that foot onto a pillow or our block. These are hip openers. Tap in to your breath. I'm going to remind us of our tenets. The first is to take the form. The second is to commit to it. The third is to soften and surrender. The fourth is to observe and allow. In the theme of hope, breathe, believe, release, receive. Breathe, believe, release, receive. We're almost halfway here. Start to notice, what are you holding on to? Are you holding onto your breath? Are you holding those hips up off of the ground? Where are you holding? Just by noticing it, we then know where we need to let go. Be still. Let those muscles do the work for you. Let this gravity work for our advantage. Connect with your breath. How with our breath we can be comfortable in the chaos. The longer we hold these shapes, the more difficult it gets, right? We're getting deeper. It's feeling pretty real about now. We have another minute, we can do this. Focus your brain on your body, on your breath. Breathe and believe, release and receive. Hubby's tummy's talking to us. Breathe, believe, release, receive. We have about time for 3 more deep, deep breaths into this shape. Breathe in as deep as you have. What part of you is calling out your name? Answer it with a breath. It's just like blowing it a kiss. Now to softly come out of the shape. There is no rush. Let your body guide you. Think of that garden hose analogy again, right? Literally with that knee joint and that hip up like that. We were closed off to all that flow. Now we get it to flow, flow free. That chi, that prana, that light, that life that we have within us. Perhaps we have one knee that can handle a little more than the other. Perhaps now you know what better to expect out of this shape. We're going to be up into tabletop if we're going to do the full sleeping swan like JT's doing. He's going to bring his left knee up to the left front corner of his mat. Shin is parallel to the front as he can get it. Take that right leg, perhaps we step it back. We want to be on top of that right leg, not twisting into our hips. And then maybe we hug onto a pillow, a blanket, a bolster. I'm going to take my left knee and cross it over my right thigh, telling my hips to even out, neutralize on this earth, and then, yes, bring this right thigh up. We are doing the same shape, it just looks a little different. We take the form, we commit to it. We soften and surrender, we observe and allow, my favorite part, especially in this one. In the silence, in the stillness, does the mind start to wander? Bring it in with you. What part of you is screaming out your name? These hips, this lower back, all this spine. These hips of ours are emotional epicenters. It's where we hold those dark memories mostly, right? Those fear-based, because we curl up into a ball from our hips when we're scared. We hold onto this stuff in our muscle fibers. Right now with him just holding in the stillness, yes, deep release. Miss Lexi, I will look into that. I see your question. This is not getting easier. We would think, okay, I'm holding this for a while. It's going to get more comfortable. No, we're getting deeper into the joints, into the ligaments, our fascia, our deep skeletal fibers. Deep things arise. We start to hold our breath here, right? Because we're in defense mode, trying to keep it all bottled. No, ladies and gents, let's send it out. The world can handle it. We don't need to hold on to this baggage anymore. We have hope. Everything that you are going through is preparing you for what you have asked for. I read that last night. Everything you are going through is preparing you for what you have asked for. How often have we asked to just be grounded in our homes? To just be with our families without agendas? To just lay on our couch and read a book for pleasure? Hope. Hope is the only thing that is stronger than fear. Hope is the only thing that is stronger than fear. Like I said, we hold our fear here, right here. He's opening up. Hope is the only thing that is stronger than fear. Let light shine out of the darkness. Notice your breath in this shape. If it starts to sneak up into our chest where we're literally strangling ourselves with it, move it on down deep into the belly. Let light shine out of the darkness. We have about 30 more seconds here. Get comfortable with your uncomfortable. How much deeper can you go? This brain, it's not something that just blanks out so easy. So focus on your now. Where are you now? What are you thinking now? What are you feeling now? Let that light get you through the darkness. And we're softly and slowly going to come out of this shape. Ooh, maybe we just give ourselves a full body stretch wherever we're at. Perhaps we feel that we've opened up the floodgates of emotions. That's okay. This too shall pass. It's a nice gray day. We have plenty of time to just sit with it. Any special request? I'm going to cue what we would think of, it's called bridge pose. Why? Because when we're talking about hope, we want to think about filling ourselves up, right? So bridge, our feet are flat on the mat and our knees are up. Maybe we need to move that spine a little bit and windshield wiper those knees, wiping away all those worries. Now, here's where we get our pillows and our blankets, because we could hold an active bridge. I'm going to get out of the way so we can see where Justin takes and lifts his hips up. We can take our bolsters, our pillows, our blankies, and then bring them underneath if this is good. He likes to hold his up nice and high, so he's going to use a bolster, bring it up under his spine, right under that sacral, right under our sacrum, right where the back meets the booty. And then to just be with it here. To just notice right now we don't have to hold ourselves up, or maybe we are holding ourselves up. Maybe we need to pay attention to the length in the front side of our body. Maybe we just need to pay attention to sending all that love into our own hearts. This is from The Awakened State. I alone cannot change society for the better, but I can radically transform my own consciousness, overturning the conditioning that limits my potential. We can all do this one by one. Over time, we can change ourselves to the degree that society changes from the inside out, giving birth to a new way of being, manifesting our birthright of living in a peaceful and abundant world. Have no fear, trust yourself, live your full potential. This is where I have hope in. That by separated right now, we are focusing on how we can make things a little brighter, a little lighter in our own lives. And then when we can collectively come together, how our communities will shine so brilliant. I'm going to read this one more time. You are just focusing on sending all that love light to yourself. It's tipping into your heart, into your throat chakra, into this beautiful crown that we have, our lighthouse to the divine. I alone cannot change society for the better, but I can radically transform my own consciousness, overturning the conditioning that limits my potential. We can all do this one by one. Over time, we can change ourselves to the degree that society changes from the inside out, giving birth to a new way of being, manifesting our birthright of living in a peaceful and abundant world. Have no fear, trust yourself, live your full potential. Trust yourself. Live your full potential. What do you say to yourselves in these moments of stillness? What is your brain doing? Focus on the body, the breath, the being. We're going to collectively take 3 breaths together by breathing in nice and deep. Exhale it all out. One more time, think of these getting length into our front body. Exhaling it all out. And on our last breath together, breathing it all in this shape, exhale it out. Remove that block from that lower back. Slowly uncurl your spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. Lengthen yourself, hug yourself, twist yourself. What is you asking of yourself? Follow it. Justin is the yin to my yang. He could hold still for days. I am the tick, 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 tick. We're going to finish in all of our favorite, the Shavasana, by just lying down into a prone position, lying on our back. Hands come down to our sides. Palms face up, keeps the nerves from touching the earth. Keeps us receptive to all the love around us. Let those feet flop to our left and to our right. And just be with it now. 2 minutes of silence and stillness. We're going to start to come back to life by bringing that breath physically back in, bringing that movement into our fingers and our toes, maybe wagging that head left and right. You do not have to get up. You could stay here for the rest of the day. What a beautiful thing that we are able to do. If you enjoyed this type of a practice, I'm not going to be blunt about it. I mean, it's my personal favorite. My husband loves it again. It's just the being, right? And then the noticing afterwards how these deep stretches of us just holding them with our peace and our patience, how it can open us up and make us walk a little lighter into these lives of ours. We're going to meet into sitting or go ahead and stay. Their hands to heart center. I'm going to close us off to a quote by the Buddha in our spirit of hope. One moment can change a day. One day can change a life. And one life can change the world. Say it one more time. One moment can change a day. One day can change a life. And one life can change the world. From my life to yours, we sign off. Namaste.
Namaste.
Go to tawaste.com. There's a couple more yin classes on there. And again, this class has been brought to us by Miss Jeannie and Mike. If anyone has any special requests, I see yoga for asthma, so I'm going to look into that and we'll focus on it. So you ask, and it's my pleasure to give, right? Everyone have a lovely, beautiful day from our home to yours. Peace.